Hello everyone, Guy9 here with the next of the Fable 2 extra videos. And this was kind of a special extra video because in this one we're going to be dealing with altered realities or alternate dimensions or however you like that one specific physics phenomenon and such. Anyways, as you remember me saying quite a bit in this project, there are several points in the game where basically if you do one minor choice, it radically changes a region after a long period of time. Now, in Albion, there are 3 locations that this can happen. The earliest of which is Barriston Old Town, based on the decision of whether you hand the warrants back to the officer or to the creep guy. Oakfield was the most radical changing of the one, and that was between helping the Temple of Light and Dark, or Shadows, rather. And then, of course, the final one is probably the most minor of which, the one in Brightwood, whether you either help Giles take in Ripper, or do you help Ripper kill Giles? So basically, you can't do all of these in one file. Like, you can't have both the good and the evil. You have to have one or the other. And so, obviously, I had to use different files to get all these recordings done. But basically, what most of this video is going to be me showing basically what these evil paths are. So, yeah, and then there will be something else in this video. But first, let's start with this. Barriston Old Town is the first one, and I'm using my stepbrother's file again. As you can see, it looks radically different already. This Barriston Old Town happens as a result of handing the warrants to that one guy who stopped you in the alley instead of handing it to the police officer. Basically, what happens is that the police officer subsequently got fired, and the bandits pretty much got the run of the town. Now, as you can see, fundamentally, Old Town is still the way it is, except for one major change. It's just a lot darker and a lot foggier now, too. It also looks like crap, obviously. Let's show off the real major change, though. If you go down this alley here, you'll find that you can no longer go through this place. This way, anyways. You can see, like, there's a building in the way now. So, no matter what, you have to go down this small right alley here in order to get anywhere through Barriston Old Town. Compared to the good Old Town, this is definitely the reason why you don't want this. But, an advantage it has over a good Old Town is that this is a general goods store, something that we didn't have. However, of course, that means that these stalls for the weapon and the armor and the clothing are no longer here. So, it's what you pick. And, of course, the rest of the town is basically the same. Foggy, run down. It looks like crap. It honestly does. But, yeah, and you can see, like, the effect kind of carries out here as well. It got... Oh my god, is that a ponytail? Next place. Oakfield! I almost said Oakvale. Already you can see a massive change with this one. Again, the fog seems to be a big of a theme with, evil places, and that alarm's still going. Oh, hello.
You're mine now.
Wow, I went through the spire, so it's been 10 years since that bell has been ringing, and whatever, it doesn't really matter.
Doing business with you.
Yeah. I can't believe that was still going. You'd think after 10 years it would have gone away. But yeah, this is a result of completing the I'm recording this right after the spire, but you can see this is the result of helping the Temple of Shadows by basically killing off a bunch of people in Oakvale. And oh, look at that, we got a title. So yeah, as I just said, fog, a big theme, definitely looks a lot more, depressing. The first major change you'll find up here is where you had the priest's grave. You'll notice that the golden oak is now completely destroyed. So yeah, there's just this ruined tree, and as a result, Oakvale. I keep thinking Oakvale. Nah. As a result, Oakfield has definitely suffered a bit. It still has a bit of an autumn feel to it. As you can see, all the trees are orange still, but it's definitely a lot, less bright and stuff like that. Yeah, so it is kind of depressing. It really is. The second major change. And, I didn't really know this offhand, but if you'll notice over here, all the development that we saw in the good Oakfield is absent in this Oakfield. So because of killing all those people in the past, this part of Oakfield never got developed. So it still does the exact same as it was when we left to the Spire 10 years ago. So Yeah, basically you just miss out on owning a few homes, I guess. Again, it doesn't change anything to the gargoyles and the silver keys, because again, it's fundamentally the same. They don't put anything in any of the new stuff anyway, so, yeah. And then, of course, the most striking of the changes in Oakfield. Well, probably that last one was probably pretty striking, but this one also has a bit of a change to it as well. Obviously, you can kind of tell where we're going to the Temple of Light. And there's no point in showing the Temple of Shadows because there's actually no difference between the 10 years ago one and the current one. But with the Temple of Light, if you come back to it...
As you can see, when you help the Temple of Shadows, you seal the fate of these monks. The temple is deserted, and none have followed the ways of light since then.
And as a result, the temple has fallen to disrepair. You can see off to the left, that's Thomas from the hobsquatting quest. And you can see, like, nothing new here. And who are you? Who are you in here? Oh, and it's... This is because the site for accepting the Assassination Society job. Or side job, or whatever. Ha! Alright. That was funny. Alright, so final region. Brightwood. Obviously, this is the result of helping Ripper kill off Giles. So you can see, again, foggy. And again, no development. So that's pretty much the underlying theme of all the evil areas. And, oh god, there are the Hollow Men here too. Alright, let's take them on, I guess. And, oh my god! That's a lot of them! That's a lot of Hollow Men! And I got Steel Clockwork Pistol! Ah! Damn, curse my inability to change stuff after I left this fire. The reason why I'm a little bit surprised about this is that I have never actually done this option before. I always found it too cruel and the reward just not worth it. But anyways, if you get near this grave right here, this new grave, if you listen to it, or read it, here lies Giles and Jenny. Life was too cruel to you. But your dog will actually start digging over his grave, and if you dig at it, you will find the portcullis key, the key that we got after buying the Brightwood farm when we did the good path to this. So this is how you get the enforcer if you did the evil pathway to this. So basically, if you're good versus evil, basically the only thing you miss out on is owning a pretty good farm, I guess. A pretty cool farm. And now we can actually go inside Giles' building. And there's nothing here. Oh, there is something. Oh, level 1 tofu. Alright. So yeah, that's it. All the evil places. One more thing, though. As we're on the topic of evil stuff, I'm back in Bloodstone, of all places. And after you've completed the game, if you go back to Reavers Mansion, you'll notice that it's on sale now. And when you take a look at it, it's... Oh wow, I'm actually getting for about 7,000 less. Alright, Reaver's climb through the ranks of Bloodstone Underworld was nothing short of amazing. It culminated with his killing of the crime lord who lived in this mansion. So, there's really no point of buying this, however, there is some cool stuff in it, starting with Reaver's Note. If you're reading this, you have Urseth my home. Well done. May serpulating pustules plague every delicate part of your anatomy. Be you stranger or acquaintance, friend or foe, you can enjoy the anecdotal tales I have recorded upon magical paper and left scattered in objects around the house, until I return to kill you and take back what's rightfully mine. Vindictively yours, Reaver. So, basically the cool part about this, other than just owning something of Reaver's, is that scattered throughout his house are going to be diary entries. And, oh, look, Ruby. Let's see, money, alright. I want to find these things real quick. Let's see, you? No, alright. Alright, and yeah, through this room you can actually go back into Reaver's rear passage if you wish. If you haven't. Alright, there's page 2. Huh. Well, where's page 1? I don't want to start doing this until I find page 1. Let's see. More money. All right. Let's see. Burning orange dye. Not really useful so far. 3 of 5. No, I want 1 of 5. All right. I guess I'll be spending the first few minutes searching this house and see if I can find number 1. Let's see, have I searched you yet? Yeah, I have. All right. So the Bloodstone Mansion basically has the same anatomy as the Cemetery Mansion did back in the Bowerstone Cemetery. I think there is some minor changes here and there. Oh, there's 1 through 5. All right, let's try and find the other 2, I guess. But it's fundamentally the same. I mean, yeah, you're not missing much. All right, nothing over there. So let's go into the side room off here. Yeah, this one's easier to notice than in the cemetery. All right. All right. So yeah, here's the main difference. This top area is actually well decorated in 4 through 5. All right. So. All right. Can we get lucky? No. Nah. All right. So it's gonna be one of these side rooms, I guess. Let's see. Probably in you. Yep, called it. And there's probably no reason because I don't think there's any treasure in this place. So let's go ahead and read it, I guess. I mean, this can be a good way to end the video. Or whatever. Let's see, that's 5. Wish we would keep these together. 2, 3, 4. No, 2, 4, 3, yeah. There we go, number 1. Oh shoot, this is one of those ones that talk to you. Alright, then I guess I'll be quiet.
This is my first night back since the renovations. And I must say that chap from Rookridge has done a splendid job. Small miracle, considering he'd recently lost 3 toes and 2 family members. But what was I to do? He wouldn't be persuaded to abandon the construction of some worthless temple to aid me in my time of crisis. And his predecessor had simply the worst taste in furnishings. I was generous to let him live as long as I did. Now that awful scent of burnt wood and flesh has dissipated, perhaps I shall throw a party. Ursula and Penelope will be my guests of honour. Shame Andrew crumbled to ashes in the fire. What a sweet young fellow, but such a heavy sleeper.
Alright, so obviously Note 1 kind of refers to that story that he was actually talking to us about back when we were in the middle of Reaver's Rear Passage. Basically how we said how the house got burnt down the first time. And so now let's get to page 2.
It's good to be home after these 3 last months at sea. My ship barely made it to port under the weight of such spoils, and then only after we disposed of those less valuable. It was a pity to see my new brides sink into the ocean, but their sizable attributes rendered them unfeasibly heavy, and I'd already tossed all non-essential crew members into the ever-undulating arms of the Kraken. I believe my most cherished memory from this voyage has to be the discovery of an island far to the south of Albion, among waters of indescribable blue. There, men and women consort in ways even I found slightly objectionable. They have little need for clothing under that gentle sun, and their fondness for a syrupy liqueur made from an obscenely shaped fruit made it almost too easy to plunder their possessions. I might have stayed there forever, had it not been for the monkey incident.
In that page, I guess it's just a random page from his travels, like when he was throwing C, kind of like what Hammer or whoever mentioned. Alright, page 3.
I am filled with a wonderful weariness tonight. My bedroom is far too crowded to get a good night's sleep, and I'm too indolent to eject any of my lovely guests. Instead, I thought I would sit in my study, sipping a restorative beverage and enjoying my own company. It reminds me of my very first evening in this house. My bedfellows were fewer and less charming then, but I had little energy left anyway. It isn't every day that one murders a pirate king and takes his place. Oh, I had the vigour of youth back then. Real youth. How many must I have killed on my way to this very room? I shall never forget the look on the brigand's face, one so ill-suited to royalty of any kind. How he came to such a position, being so slow on the draw, is a perfect mystery. I feel somewhat reinvigorated now, and I hear stirrings upstairs. Perhaps the night isn't quite over yet.
Alright, so note 3 obviously talks about how he came to owning this mansion in the first place, kind of like what the description kind of told us. Alright, page 4.
I received an unusual visitor today, an adventurer who'd toddled in through Wraithmarsh, losing neither life, limb, nor sanity on the way. This alone would have been sufficient to mark him as a unique individual, but once I'd learned he'd escaped from the demented grip of none other than Lord Lucian, I knew I had quite a catch in my hands. I've sent an emissary to speak with Lucian and come to a lucrative arrangement. Since the time of the tribute is nearing, I can already feel the wrinkles begin to form on my face. I sent the poor sod to the Shadow Court to keep him busy. I'm sure the old loon in the spire won't mind if I post him back slightly decrepit. Should make it easier to keep him locked up. I think I'll celebrate my good fortune by commissioning a new portrait. I've heard of a chap with some sort of magical apparatus that renders almost lifelike results. I believe his name is Barnum. I shall have him brought to me today.
And of course that's where we enter the picture and where poor Barnum enters the picture too. And now finally, Reaver's last page.
I awoke from the nightmare again. One would think that more than 200 years would suffice to blunt its steel. But still I see Oakvale devoured by shadows. Still those shrieks fill the air. How much longer must I live before they fall silent? Such dreams belong to another time, to another man, one who would recoil from the things I've done since that night, who might even care about all the sacrifices I've offered up to the odious judges over how long? Hundreds of years. I see that man as he was back then, as beautiful as me, as fiery as me, but so delicate, so breakable, and so afraid of death. I see him summon the Shadow Court into this world, oblivious to the consequences. He asks them for immunity for the disease of time and death, and they grant it. Then I see him running madly through fields, the realization of just what price he has unwittingly paid hanging like a tragedy mask from his face. He falls to his knees before the town he called home, now a dark circus of screams. Hers is among them, but he can do nothing to stop it. What a weak, despicable man he is. But I am not he. I am Reaver. And I will sleep much better after this chalice of wine.
So yeah, definitely the most striking of the pages. But unfortunately, that's all I got for this video. So this is GuyCushion9 with Let's Play Fable 2. And we're almost done with this game, guys. Just keep up with me and we'll make it there, I guess. Or whatever lame thing. Alright, see you then, guys.